Headaches. Everyone's had them, right? The pain in the back of the head, around the temples, behind the eyes, the not wanting to be near bright lights, or maybe the sensitivity to smell or sound. But if you're a person who struggles with headaches for weeks at a time, then maybe it's time for you to look beyond things like medications, Botox injections, or other chemicals, and actually look at finding what's the real cause of the problem. Hey, I'm Dr. Sam McDonald, brain health expert, helping you rewire your brain so you can live a better life. If you love this content, make sure to like and subscribe so you get the notifications for each week's new video. So let's talk about first what causes headaches. And the answer is no one's really quite sure. There's some strong indications for some very big correlations to what brings about headaches, but so far research and practical applications have shown there's really three big components that contribute to getting a headache. There's a physical component, a chemical component, and then there's a neurological component. So we'll start with the chemical component first, which we're really not going to discuss too much in this video, but chemically we're talking about food sensitivities is the biggest correlation to this. The two biggest ones being chocolate, cheese, and red wine seem to have the highest correlations to causing repeated episodes of headaches. Beyond that, it becomes very individualized, meaning, hey, certain foods can have a higher correlation to resulting in a headache. For more information on that, you'll need to look into food sensitivity testing. Now, the other two we're going to really dive into this video, and that is the structural component and the neurological component. So structurally, you have at the very top of your neck here, you have your atlas bone, which is the ring-like bone that surrounds your brain stem. You have the base of the skull, and then you have the bone below that called your C2 or your axis bone, which has this little projection up top that where the atlas sits around and spins. So there's a lot of important anatomy that happens here because you also have a lot of vascular components. You have things like the vertebral arteries that come up into the brain and supply the blood supply to the brain. You have the foramen magnum, which is where the spinal cord enters into and connects and becomes the brainstem, so to speak, where the cerebrospinal fluid is pumping both up and down in this area. So there's a lot of fluid dynamics that are happening. But what can happen with tension headaches and with other kinds of headaches is you get misalignments of these bones and of the skull in this whole junction here, which can cause changes in pressure and changes in blood flow to the brain. It can cause changes in pressure in the cerebrospinal fluid coming down, and that change in pressure can then radiate up into the back of the head, to the sides of the head, as that whole muscular tension component changes. So all that can be a very big contributor to headaches, which is why chiropractic care in the past has been a big component for a lot of people's success in overcoming headaches. Now, the other part of this, the equation in terms of what causes headaches, is the neurological component, and the biggest part of that is stress. So how you respond to stress can be a big contributor to the resulting in how long and how bad some of these headaches can be. Now, meaning when I talk about stress, we break stress down into really how you respond and how you recover from that, right? So we always talk about with people the fire alarm in escaping a burning building and what happens to your body when you feel like you're in a sense of danger. Well, what happens is your muscular tension starts to go up, your heart rate goes up, your eyes dilate, and your whole body goes into defense mode. When this happens, your brain actually activates two certain what are called nuclei in the brain where your eyes dilate, so now you see more light can come in. This can cause that increase in sensitivity to light because now you're seeing more. So this is why when people get headaches, they're stuck in this stress mode, their eyes dilate, and now more light's coming in. It's like, oh man, it's too much. I can't take it. The other thing that happens is your ears become more sensitive to sound because, again, your body's stuck in a stress mode. It's thinking there's a danger somewhere around that it needs to react to, which is going to cause an increase in sensitivity to sound. So what you want to do is start to look at, and when you look at with people, are they stuck more in this type of stress mode, or are they more in this relaxation mode? Can they bounce back and forth between the two? Because being stuck in this prolonged stress mode is going to cause all of these increases in sensitivities. It's going to cause an increase in muscular tension, which is going to then result in these headaches happening more and more often. So what you need to do when it comes to resetting this whole neurological component to headaches is you need to start to reset that stress system, meaning you need to get yourself out of that stress mode back into a relaxation mode. Because when you can do that, this muscular tension can start to relax. Blood flow can start to return back up to the scalp and to the brain and to the head. These muscles around the head, the temples, and around the front of the eyes can start to relax, which means this headache pressure can start to decrease. So what you need to do is start to activate things like the vagus nerve, that main nerve for the relaxation and healing part of your nervous system. You need to start to activate the other and the rest of that resting relaxation mode, because that's going to have a huge cascade towards all these other components of the headache. And it's even going to have a spillover into some of that food sensitivity piece, because your parasympathetic relaxation mode in the nervous system also affects digestion. So the better your digestion is, the less food sensitivities you're going to have, the less likely it's going to have triggers up to your headaches as well. So all this is going to start to play together as you deal with these headaches and deal with getting yourself back into a relaxation mode. So if you found this information helpful, please leave us a comment below. Share this information with a friend if you have somebody or know somebody that struggles with headaches regularly. Let's look beyond just the chemical components and let's look at the actual causes of what's happening. So on that note, you should be healthy by choice, not by chance. And for that reason, I will see you on the next video.